Here with me now, former CIA officer and Portman Square Group chairman and CEO, Mike Baker. Welcome back, Baker. It was just days ago, I feel like.
Well, thank you very much.
I
know, it did seem just like yesterday.
It was so much yesterday. Jen Psaki's like, yeah, we're totally going to do something if they invade, maybe. I don't even know. Like, we're going to talk about it, and it'll probably be super tough. Do you think Putin is just posturing? Like, is he having fun, or does he really want to annex Ukraine?
Yeah, look, this is an incredibly complex situation that's landed on President Biden's desk.
Great.
You remember those SAT questions? A is to B as C is to D. So if, in a very simplistic way, the Ukraine is to Russia as Taiwan is to China. It's that sensitive of an issue. So not only is Putin still raging about the collapse of the Soviet Union, and he said numerous times in public that he wants to rebuild in some way the Soviet Union, but the idea that NATO may embrace the Ukraine may go in there. Look, it's right on his border. This is the hottest button issue for Putin. So we need to understand the dynamic that drives him in this. The other problem is that, look, there's no good solution. We talk about, well, we can layer on additional economic sanctions. We haven't seen any real indication that it's affected them in the past, right? They've annexed Crimea. They've been into the Ukraine already, both with their proxy troops and their own troops.
Silly with separatists, absolutely.
They're still, right, exactly. And they've got Russian troops in Georgia and South Ossetia. So there's precedent for this. But I suppose if you wanted to be optimistic, you could look at this and go, maybe what Putin's doing is he's playing his hand all at once. He's showing all his cards. He's all in on the idea of a bluff, a big bluff. I'm going to mass 175,000 or more troops on the border with Ukraine because I think that's what's going to get the Ukraine to back off this idea of perhaps joining NATO, which is not a done deal, and getting NATO to back off the idea of embracing the Ukraine. So maybe that's what he's doing. If you were optimistic, that's what you'd think.
I'm not optimistic. I do think
no, neither am I.
I do think he's employing the old Ukrainian bluff. We all know that parlor trick, and that's all he's got. Like
Ukrainian bluff? Is that like a rusty trombone or something? What is the Ukrainian bluff?
Mike,
I don't know.
I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. It is not like the rusty trombone. It is like the Catholic bagel, and that is completely different. All right, so what does the U.S. do? Like, you talk about cyber retaliation. That sounds like a Black Friday scheme.
Yeah, they are what they're doing so far, which I think to a lot of the population seems mild, seems inept, is the idea of further economic sanctions. But that's really what we have. We have very limited options unless we want to then escalate. Look, nobody, whether it's the U.S. or NATO or other allies, nobody has the stomach to do a ground war, right? Go in with a military conflict with Russia. So that's not going to happen. So if all you've got is economic sanctions, what else is there? Well, maybe there's cyber retaliation. The problem there is it's an untested battlefield to do these cyber attacks. You have to figure out what's a proportional response, and then you have to worry about it escalating very rapidly into something that would be extremely ugly.
Yeah, then they're going to try shooting all of our satellites out of the sky just to be a bunch of jerks.
Yeah.
You're right. There's no good solution, so we just have to trade with everyone but Russia and get off the gas.
Well, I think what we have to do also is we have to realize that talking's important, even during the Cold War. And look, this is bizarre, right? Because it's like what's old is new again. We've got this Cold War edginess with Russia. We've got increasing tensions with China. It seems very bizarre. But what we know from the Cold War days is that you have to dialogue. You have to talk. Where is Spiro Agnew when you need him? But I don't know where I just pulled that one out from. But look, you have to maintain dialogue.
He was still better than Kamala Harris.
So, yeah, bring back good old Spiro. I think again, to be fair to the Biden administration, I'm glad they had this conversation today.
Yeah.
I don't think whatever was said is going to change Putin's calculation as to risk versus gain, whether he goes in further in. Look, he may well have already made the decision. Yeah. What I'm going to do is annex eastern Ukraine. There's a lot of reasons why he may want to do that. And, what is our response? Again, it's very limited. And that's the frustrating part for the administration.
Yeah, Joe Biden's going to sit on his own balls, and the IOC is going to give Russia more Olympic Games. That's what's going to happen. Mark my words. There's going to be ball sitting, and Olympics for everyone but the good guys. So I guess I'm the only one who misses Rocky IV. We have to go, but you can say one last thing. You have 5 seconds.
Okay. Yeah, the good news here is that at least this current U.S. administration has a lot of experience in dealing with Putin and issues around the Ukraine, because most of these cats from this current administration were there in 2014 when this whole mess started.
Yeah, and they just keep digging them up again. It's like some
gives us no comfort
apocalypse
whatsoever.
Of dumb libs. Mike Baker, thank you so much. Good to talk to you.